a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Hi, I'm Mark Haye. I'm filling in for Brandon Rhymes today. Mark Haye from 21st Century Financial Group. And Brandon's on vacation with his family, so God bless him. Hope he's having a good time. And we got a good lineup today. First, Alex Black Belt Lima is going to give us some real estate listings.
Well, yeah, here we go. All right, let's check out some properties available to you from the Platinum MVP team over at Keller Williams. First property we'd like to showcase today for you is, let's go with this one. We haven't said this one in a while. We got 5121 40th Avenue North in St. Petersburg. This is a really nice kind of like old school looking home. I like the style of the home here. And when I say old school, I mean the outside, you know, it looks like it was built, I'd say maybe late 70s perhaps. But the inside looks like it was completely decked out and redone. So they did a great job on this. It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,000 square foot home at 5121 40th Avenue North in St. Pete. You're sitting on, about a quarter acre. It's surrounded by oak trees. Beautiful if that's your thing, which is very nice. A lot of shade. Spacious living room and kitchen. Primary bedroom is located upstairs. It's got an enclosed back patio, which is perfect for alfresco dining whenever you want to get your alfresco on. Newly refinished hardwood floors. Got a front porch that stretches almost around the whole front of the house there. It's very, very nice with a nice little carport right there. Beautiful home, and it's a short drive to St. Pete Beach in downtown St. Pete and Tropicana Field, so you can wash your rays. So 5121 40th Avenue North in St. Petersburg, Florida. That property is available to you from the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams. Another property we'd like to showcase for you today is 2845 17th Avenue North, also in St. Pete. It's a nice smaller one, just under 700 square feet. We talked about this one the other day on the show. 2-bedroom, 1-bath, perfect starter home. It's got updated kitchen, large backyard. North of the Kenwood area. It's minutes as well to downtown St. Pete. So whoever buys the last home and buys this one, they can meet up for drinks and appetizers in downtown St. Pete at 2845 17th Avenue North, St. Petersburg. Great starter home. Check it out. Platinum MVP team. You can see all the properties available to you at platinumcoastalelite.com.
Thank you, sir. And I have the pleasure and honor to speak with Martin Gramatica today.
The one, the only.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Now, like I was telling you, I'm a little bit ignorant on the business that you're VP of, right, and development. And I would love just to hear and kind of spitball with you and ask questions if we could do that.
No, absolutely. So Lifeguard Imaging, everything we do is preventative, and these are CT scans. We scan the heart for calcification of the arteries, and then our full body scan goes from the top of the shoulders to the base of the pelvis, where 90% of the deadliest cancers develop. So that's what we're doing, and 99.9% of our patients come in asymptomatic. They just want to be proactive with their health. We're one of 7 offices in the whole country providing preventive scans. The way we do it, we've designed a program very similar to the mammogram, where our patients scan every year for 5 years. So if anything were to develop between scans, we're going to catch it early. And it's incredible. At first, when I joined Lifeguard, I thought it was a slogan for a T-shirt, because they said, we're literally saving 1 to 3 lives a day. And I said, that's pretty cool. You put that on a T-shirt, but
Yeah.
It's legit. Every day we see an average about 12 to 15 appointments, and 1 to 3 of our patients will have either heart disease or cancer that they have no idea they have.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Now you have 7 different locations?
Not ourselves. We're one of 7 in the whole country.
Oh, really?
Our second location opened last year in Scottsdale, Arizona. We're currently working on our 3rd location, which will be Sarasota, Florida. We're hoping to have it done probably maybe August, September. We're rebuilding and remodeling right now and doing all the build out. So construction, you just never know. But
yeah,
that's the plan. And our goal is to open 1 to 3 every year. That's our
Wow.
business plan. We want to have and bring this technology to the whole country. Everybody should know that they can take their health into their own hands and have a preventative scan if they wanted one, and that's our goal.
So if I want to go in and get a scan today, how long does it take? Like, how long is the scan?
I want you to guess. Since you said you're a little bit ignorant about
ignorant. I would probably say it's probably going to take an hour to be in and out of there.
Well, 5 minutes.
No way.
5 minutes.
You do a whole body?
Well, we don't do head or arms and legs, because the head you need contrast for.
Mm-hmm.
We don't do any injectables. So We're doing from the top of the shoulders to the base of the pelvis, which 90% of the deadliest cancers develop in our internal organs. That's what we're looking for. But it's a 5-minute CT scan. And most people, when I tell them that, they like, no way.
Yeah,
because
that's wild.
We're all thinking of the MRI. And if we played sports or anything, or even, if you get in a car accident, they're going to send you to an MRI. The MRI is excellent for tissue, as far as like ligaments and tendons of the knee, the shoulder, like for any athletic injury, the first thing they do is an MRI. CT is the gold standard for scanning the internal organs, because with MRI, with any movement, you've got to start over. With CT, our heart's going to beat, and we can scan our heart. With an MRI, you can't scan the heart because of the movement and the beat, because it's a muscle, you're not going to be able to see it. And that's where the CT comes from.
How long to get the results?
It takes about 3 to 5 business days. Typically, a little bit quicker. We don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. So we always usually we get them done way before that. But everything's read by a board certified radiologist. We have our radiology techs in house that do the scanning, and they run the machine. Most people ask me, "Are you doing the scanning?" Trust me, I'm not even hitting go on the machine. But so we have the professionals that do the scanning, and then obviously it's being read by a board certified radiologist. So when we get our results, our patients can take it. If there's anything that we detect and we find, they take it now to the proper doctor, either primary care, cardiologist, whatever the case is, and they have something to go by and know what to treat. Because the old school physicals where they feel your throat, they kind of hear your heart, they hear your lungs. Those are great to see if we have anything as a cold or a respiratory infection, but they're not looking inside with technology to see if there's anything cancerous or deadly in our body. As a matter of fact, I had a friend of mine that we detected kidney cancer, and it was the size of a softball. She had no symptoms whatsoever.
Wow.
But a month before our scan, she had her annual physical, and they told her she had the kidneys of a 17-year-old.
No way.
Which, by blood work, possibly you could say that. But they didn't see that there was a softball-sized mass in her kidney, because they're not using technology to look inside. So that's what we're doing. We're just looking inside the body.
Does health insurance cover the cost of this?
Unfortunately, because it is preventative, it's not covered by insurance. That's
something.
Well, for anybody that listens to Brandon's show, and I've come on a few times now, we're offering it's a consultation with a free heart scan.
Wow.
When they come in to hear they have the option of doing the full body in the program, and they're going to meet with their patient advocate, and they're going to explain all the scans that we do and that we offer. But for anybody listening today, they can come in and make an appointment and get a free heart scan. Just mention either Brandon Rhymes or the Consumer Quarterback Show, and they'll get that free heart scan after their consultation.
That's wonderful. Isn't it crazy though? Like, I know the point you're thinking as well. It's like the way that the system works is that preventative to stop you from getting sick. No, we don't pay out for that. It's when you're a train wreck and things are going on, because they know that they're going to get long-term medications, treatment, rehab. That's where the cash cow comes in. And you want to say, no, it's not like that, but it is, and it's sad that the system works that way. It is sad. So it's great that you guys offer the, you're trying to help. You have to look, that stuff is expensive. The equipment is expensive. To keep the lights on in any business is expensive, so you have to charge something.
Well, we are a business.
Yeah,
but
in the end,
at the end of the day, if the patient chooses just to do the heart scan, they're not paying a penny. They're not paying for a reading fee. They're not paying for anything. Now, we're going to explain and show them what our other scans are, the program. We also have a virtual colonoscopy. We have a program that has a virtual colonoscopy included. So when they see everything, if they want to be part of any of our programs, we'll get them in. And the one thing, and this is our motto at Lifeguard Imaging, is we'll never let money be the reason why somebody doesn't take advantage of one of our full body scans. There's care credit, there's financing.
There's ways.
We're going to find a way to get them scanned if they're definitely interested in doing the full body scan, which if you have a spouse, you have kids, we always say, if you don't want to do it for yourself, do it for the ones you love, because that's how I found out about Lifeguard through a radio ad. I didn't even know I could do a preventative scan. So I came in as a patient first, and now I'm part of the company. But if I didn't hear that radio ad, I never knew there was an opportunity to do a preventative scan to see if anything was going on. And the other thing is, you could look and feel great,
sure, but
there's things that could be going on, because the first symptom of heart disease is usually a heart attack. first symptom of cancer is usually late stage. We're capturing these things way before those symptoms, so patients not only can survive it with a higher percentage, but also with good quality of life, eliminating the chemos and radiations at times.
Well, when you say programs, like what are we talking about programs?
So it's a program. It's a 5-year program. It's designed like the mammogram, where patients, the first scan, it's immeasurable in its importance because, like I said, I've been with Lifeguard for 3 years now, and I've only had 2 patients that have had full body scans prior to coming in for our patients that come in for their follow-up scans. Nobody really knows this is, and this technology has been around for almost 25 years. There's an office in Atlanta that's been doing it for 25 years. Oprah did the same scan we're doing today. Obviously, the quality has evolved 20 years ago on her show. That's how how long this technology has been around. The preventative scan has been around, but with our patient, that first scan is going to be a baseline scan. We're going to determine what that patient's body looks and what the size of the organs are. And if anything abnormal pops up, now they're going to take a deeper dive and they're going to either see their specialist. Now, once everything's looked at and considered non-dangerous, that becomes part of their baseline. Every scan is going to be compared to the previous year. So if anything were to develop and change from year to year, we're going to capture early.
So you can do your trending. Like when I was a paramedic for 15 years, what we do, you go to somebody that's having a, let's say, a hypertensive crisis. Their blood pressure is high. Take that initial blood pressure on the person, and their blood pressure is 190 over 120. That's the baseline now because that's the first time I can take it. And then about every 10 minutes, you're taking it again. It's like, okay, now it's 210 over 200. Wait a minute, this is getting higher, right? Or you give your medication, you wait, you take the blood pressure again, and now it's lower. Okay, so what we're doing is working. So you have to get that baseline, like he's saying, so that you can trend and look out for abnormalities. Is what we're doing getting better or worse? So that's absolutely critical, and that's awesome.
And then when you say 5-year program, how often do you want to see him?
So we scan every year, so once a year for 5 years. So the thing is, if anything were to change, because when a patient sets their baseline, if something were to develop in a week or a month after, it's not going to be in that scan. Right. Now that follow-up scan is going to capture, and it's going to be caught where it's so early in the process that it's going to be there's going to be a higher percentage that they can survive it, and also with good quality of life, eliminating the chemos and radiation. My friend, where we found the kidney cancer the size of a softball, her doctor was predicting that if she would have scanned a month after our scan, she would have needed chemo and radiation. Wow. Obviously, she's lucky it was the kidney because they took out the kidney and 2 lymph nodes. They were already starting to spread. But now if she would have scanned 6 months after our scan, it would have metastasized.
Wow, that's incredible.
That's why we scan our patients every year, because when you catch it that early, you're going to have a better chance to survive it.
Wow. Yeah. Well, we got to take a quick break, but when we come back, I got a couple more questions for you, if you don't mind.
No problem.
All right, we'll take a quick break here with Martin Gramatica and Alex Black Belt Lima.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
ConsumerQB.com. Check us out.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you've been listening to the phenomenal Brandon Rhymes, the Consumer Quarterback Show.
All right, welcome back. Mark here with Martin Gramatica, and we're going to kind of jump right back in, so we got about 10 minutes left. Now, one quick question I had. Do you guys find lung cancer, like smokers and stuff like that, shows up in your scans?
Absolutely. We've actually find it in patients that have never smoked, and they're shocked because they don't have any symptom, and then we find it. Anything going on between the shoulder, top of the shoulders to the base of the pelvis, we'll be able to detect. Wow. The way our machine is programmed, our CT machine is programmed a little bit different than hospital scanners, where we don't have any gaps between images. So our gaps, as a matter of fact, are literally overlapping. So we can see a 2-millimeter shadow, which is the opening of a pen. That's how small of a shadow we can detect. It's not anything that small is not automatic cancer, but it's something that shouldn't be in our body. But that's how precise our machine is, and we have a low radiation software. So not only do patients receive less radiation, they have a more efficient scan as well, the way we have programmed our machine.
All right, now tell me about this virtual colonoscopy, because I'm in that same group now. I'm like, all right, I got to get serious about this.
Yes, and I was going to wait till 50, and I have a friend of mine that just got diagnosed my age, stage 4 colon cancer. I said, I'm not waiting. So I scheduled mine. It's much less invasive than the conventional. For anybody that's had the conventional one, the prep is awful. You always hear that you got to clean everything out, and they just don't like the prep. With ours, it's minimal prep because the scanner's doing most of the work. And the camera that the conventional one has is a 6-foot probe with a camera on the tip of it, where they're literally looking with a camera. Yeah. Ours is a 2.5-inch insertion. We pump air in the colon, and the scanner's doing all the work. The biggest benefit of the virtual colonoscopy is, first, we eliminate the risk of puncturing the colon wall because we're not invasively looking in there. But now we're going to see every millimeter of the inside because there's some bends and curls where the camera can't get to. We'll be able to see that. And then we're also going to create a 3D image of the outside. So if there's any cancer going on the outside of the colon, we'll be able to see it. Where with a camera, you're only looking inside. And the biggest thing, there's no anesthesia. I had mine done 7:30 in the morning on a Friday. I worked all day. And that's the thing, the prep. I ate light all week. I didn't eat, burgers and steaks every day, and I ate light.
Well, you look like you're in tremendous shape, so
well,
I'm sure you're not burgers and shakes.
Good genes.
No. I try to eat well. I try to eat healthy, but the point is I ate light, right, that week. But I started prepping at 4 p.m. on Thursday and had it done 7:30 in the morning on Friday. So the prep, it is prep, but it's minimal compared to the conventional.
Now, how long is that procedure, the virtual colonoscopy?
It's the scanning portion of it's less than 5 minutes.
Wow.
Now obviously they have to prep for it, and then the whole it's about 20 minutes. The whole process from going in the room to like almost leaving out of the room is 20-30 minutes. It's very simple. And I felt like, when they pump air in the colon, it's going to feel like those cramps where you really, want to jump off the table. It was uncomfortable, but it wasn't anything that I was preparing myself for the worst. I've never had one, and it really. It's worth the peace of mind. Now, thank God, everything came back fine. I have 5 years that I know, okay, my colon's clean inside and out, so I can wait those 5 years knowing that I have that peace of mind. Because with the conventional one, they may tell you come back in 5, and sometimes they tell you come back in 10 if you have a clean colonoscopy. Right. But what if something's going on the outside of the colon? Now we have that, is it really completely clean, because the inside might be, but the outside could still have cancer where they can't see it.
Yeah, and all that's part of your package. You get all this done for that package.
So we have a 5-year program. We have, when they meet with our patient advocate, we have a program that has a virtual colonoscopy that they'll talk about. But for the most part, our 5-year program, our standard program is a 5-year evaluation. But they're going to hear about other scans that we do.
Yeah, so you do a lot more things you can just add to, like, hey, we can give you this, we can give you that.
If they choose to, yes. Yeah. Or they could get a single scan. It's up to the patient.
Yeah.
Yes.
You guys do your own financing too, or is it just all cash? Or
so we have care credit available. And then there's financing. The one thing I mentioned earlier, we'll never let someone walk out of the door if they're interested in doing a full body scan. We'll figure out a way to get them scanned. And that's one of the models, because the sooner a patient sets that baseline, the sooner we can start monitoring and potentially have their life saved by a scan. So if anybody's interested in because the thing is, if you wait, you're going to put it off and never do it. Right. And that's just the way life is. We're busy with kids and life. And that's why we tell our patients, if you're ready and you think a full body scan is something you want to do, make that appointment right away, because if not, you're going to put it off. I almost did when I heard the first ad. Luckily, I ran into Frankie on a flight to a Bucs game, and then I had no choice. I ran into Frankie, and I went in and got my done. Literally, we landed on Sunday from the game, and on Tuesday I was scanning. So wow. It was meant to be.
How old do you think a person should start this program?
This is not even us saying it, because we can't dictate who we scan. We have a board-certified radiologist that does the script for the scan. They recommend starting at 35. They're seeing younger and younger patients now with cancers and diseases that, and it has to be, a lot of the chemicals, preservatives that we're eating, because we didn't hear about these cancers that young. I have a friend of mine, his wife's cousin, diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. She's 25.
God,
no
25. Way. That's a baby. I mean, that's a kid.
Horrible.
You get that cancer, it's not a good situation.
No, and our machine, when Frankie was running that office in Atlanta, because our director, Frankie, ran that office for 3.5 years before coming to Tampa, captured pancreatic cancer pre-stage 1 and saved a one's life.
Wow.
Nobody's doing a preventative screening for pancreatic cancer. No. So, and this is a motivation for our office. Frankie, our director, his father passed away with pancreatic cancer. They misdiagnosed it at his hospital. They missed it, actually, at his hospital. He was the chief of staff of a hospital in D.C., came back from a vacation, just had a little discomfort in his abdomen. And normally we would say, okay, we ate too much, indigestion, the stomach ache, wow, we'll feel better. He had that scientific mind to say something's going on in there in my pancreas. They scanned his pancreas, said, Dr. Lamont, out, everything's fine. Unfortunately, like I was saying earlier, the slices and the gap between slices in hospital scanners, his cancer was in the tail of the pancreas, which was between two images. They never saw it. And that's the motivation for our office, and that's the motivation why we have our scanner set up the way we do it so we don't miss. I mean, we can literally see a 2 millimeter shadow.
Okay, so I want to come in now. So I'm going to be a client. Okay, you sold me on this. So if I call you guys tomorrow and say I want to make an appointment, how long till I can get in? Is it weeks? Is it months? Is it?
Well, you have connections. You have my cell number now, so I'll get you in right away. But no, that the sense of urgency of calling right away, because sometimes we are booked, a month out, a couple weeks out. We were at one point 2.5 months out because that's how busy we are. We're doing a lot of promoting in Tampa. We want people to know that this is available, so it's gaining traction where people understand. Oh, I can do a preventative scan. I can take my own health into my own hands. So, call right away, and you could get lucky with
3 weeks out or something.
3 weeks to a month, but if you could get lucky where there's a cancellation, then we'll fit patients in right away.
Well, I'm sure there's something in the tax code we could find a tax deduction to do this.
Without a doubt.
It has to fall under the health category. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So absolutely. Anything else you want to say? We've got a minute and a half left. Anything else you want to add, say, bring to the table?
Yeah, let people know how to reach you and get with you guys and stuff.
So they can reach us at lifeguardimaging.com, and that's the easiest way. And then obviously mention, Brandon Rhymes, the Consumer Quarterback Show. That way they get the consultation with a free heart scan promotion. But also want to mention that we do have what are called scans of honor, and these are programs designed for our military. We understand the stress they go under, and we thank them for their service. So Lifeguard Imaging, we're super proactive when it comes to our military, and we love our military. And that also falls to police officers and firefighters. Anybody that comes in that's a police officer, firefighter, or military, and their spouses as well, because we understand, look, we appreciate our military, but their spouses go through a lot as well. So we honor those programs for them as well. So when they come in, they can talk about that with our patient advocate, because we have some programs for them as well.
I'm a firm believer in health. I always say, if you have your health, you have unlimited dreams. If you don't have your health, you have one dream. So it's very good to be preventative, because if you don't have your health, all you want to do is have your health.
Absolutely. No, and I appreciate the Brandon. Obviously, I've known him since high school, so it's nice to come on. And
you're from LaBelle.
I'm from LaBelle. Yeah.
Same as Brandon. That's crazy. Small world.
I know.
I don't know anybody from LaBelle.
Now you know.
Now you do.
That's so funny.
But I appreciate that I can come on and talk about what we do, because we want to get the word out and want people to realize that they can take the health into their own hands.
Well, I'm going to be a client, because I need to do that. That's amazing.
And
I appreciate you coming in.
Right? Health is wealth. You literally have nothing else, man. All your money and all that, it means nothing at the end, because you will trade it all for your health.
What an unbelievable company. I appreciate you coming in.
No, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to be back. Mark Haye here with Alex Lima and Martin Gramatica. Thank you again.
Have a great one, guys. When we're coming back, we're going to be talking to Roger Kuns, Palm Harbor Cinema and Sound. He decks out houses. You know what he does. I think he can even put like speakers inside of your pool and stuff. So when you're swimming underwater, you can listen to Britney Spears or whatever it is you like. Check us out, www.consumerqb.com, and stop listening to Britney Spears. Listen to us.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show, hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
And welcome back. Mark Haye here again, filling in for Brandon Rhymes, who's on vacation. Suffering through that. Here with Alex Black Belt Lima, and we're going to be talking to Roger over here. Roger's visiting from Ohio, and he's a Notre Dame fan. We won't hold him against it.
Rudy.
Great movie. But we got some real estate here. Go ahead, Alex.
Yeah, no doubt. Let's check out our properties. We have some properties available to you from the Platinum MVP team over at Keller Williams. One of the properties we would like to showcase for you is, let's do Marine Boulevard. We have 21480 Southwest Marine Boulevard in Dunellen. That's a fun word to say, Dunellen, Florida. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home. It boasts a serene location nestled in the heart of Rainbow Lake Estates. Recently installed beautiful vinyl plank flooring that spans throughout the home, so the flooring looks on point. It's very, very beautiful. A lot of property. It looks like it's sitting on somewhere you can throw a football back and forth. I'd probably put a basketball hoop out there if it was me, but a nice little barbecue and hangout area there. Extra spacious, great room flooded with natural light, provides a tranquil retreat for relaxation. Check it out, 21480 Southwest Marine Boulevard in Dunellen, Florida. One of the wonderful properties available to you from the Platinum MVP team over at Keller Williams. Another property we'd like to showcase is 7325 Skybird Road. This is unit number 399, 7325 Skybird Road in Bradenton, Florida. It's a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 1-car garage, open floor plan. just under 2,000 square feet. It's remodeled within the last year. The kitchen has granite counters, wood cabinets, and stainless steel appliances. I love this. When you see this one online, the piano is the kicker for me. That thing is such a money point right there. I love the way it looks there sitting in that grand room right there. $15,000 foil stretching ceiling in the living room and dining room. Each closet boasts built-in shelves and drawers. So ladies, you got spots for your shoes and everything else, right? 7325 Skybird Road, unit number 399 in Bradenton, Florida. Just another one of the wonderful properties available to you from the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams. You can see all the properties available at PlatinumCoastalElite.com. That's PlatinumCoastalElite.com.
All right. Thanks a lot, Alex. And a quick question, Roger, before we get into your business. Why do you think Notre Dame is afraid to join the Big Ten and play Ohio State every single year?
You know what? I think Notre Dame appreciates their freedom.
Freedom.
There we go. Well, I'll tell you, Roger, tell us about your business.
I own Music and Cinema, which is in Palm Harbor. We are a white glove, high-end home entertainment, audio, video, lighting controls, blinds, security, all those different things that you'd want in a home, small business, and we even do some larger businesses as well.
When did you start your business?
So the business has been around since 1987.
Wow.
I purchased it 2 years ago, May 5th. So
wow, good for you.
2 years.
Are you the sole owner?
I am the sole owner.
Wow, good for
you.
you.
My wife.
LLC, S Corp. How do you have it set up?
That's an LLC.
Okay, LLC. And once you get over 50,000 of net income, you got to switch it to an S.
It's taxed as an S Corp.
Oh, okay, good. Well, you're a smart man. Who set you up?
I have some smart people.
Yeah, you got to have somebody.
I'm not the smart one. I just employ smart people. Right?
And your wife helps you with the business?
Morally.
Will you please hire her so you can get more tax breaks?
She is a school counselor, so I don't think I'm going to drag her away from that.
I get you. So I get you. So tell me, so what are you guys going to specialize in? Like, what is it that you do a lot? You just said, but what is it that you guys special in? Or
so our
what's your niche?
Yeah, so we're the easy button for builders, for interior designers, for real estate agents that they can bring their clients to us, and then we run with it from there. So, for example, after somebody gets their drawings from the architect, they'll bring them into our office, and we'll sit down with them, and we'll go on a 3-hour tour, so to speak, of every little thing that they would want in that house when it comes to technology. What would they want? And it's not necessarily that they're going to do everything right off the bat, but we want them to think about everything while they're building the house, because that's the time to get it wired and get all the things and think about those so they're not afterthoughts. And then, after the sheetrock or the drywall is up.
Are you doing predominantly all new builds?
No, we do a lot of remodels. We do a lot of just, hey, I got something that needs upgraded, and we'll do that. So,
what's your background? How did you get into?
Well, that's a great question. So I was a sales and marketing major at the University of Toledo, and
Go Rockets!
Go Rockets! Believe you
What's
were
crazy
as well.
is everybody doesn't know this, but he graduated in 2003, and so did I, from Toledo Rockets.
How about that?
That's a small world, man.
Look at
small
that.
world.
And of course, when we were at school, 9/11 happened.
Yep.
I ended up going to Officer Can School in between my junior and senior year of college. Was able to make it through there, and then I served for 7 years as an officer in the Marine Corps. The last 3 years.
God bless you and thank you.
Yeah, thanks. It was an awesome 7 years, but got married year 6, and I watched what the military can do to a family, and
it's tough.
So, and I didn't join for the benefits and all that. It was just something really fun and exciting to do when I was right out of school, and I was single at the time, so I took advantage of it. But my last 3 years, so the first 4 years I was in the fleet and deployed all over the world, but there's just so much red tape that goes with being part of the federal government that it literally was not driving me nuts, but certainly driving me towards not wanting to deal with that for the rest of my life. And then the last 3 years I got to go be an officer recruiter in Atlanta, and I did really well with it. And basically what they did is they give you a mission, and they say go out and achieve this mission, and they give you an awful lot of tools, but I did really well with it. And it was kind of like owning a franchise of the Marine Corps. You had a budget, you had 3 or 4 Marines, and they said go out and find kids to go to Officer Can School, and we kicked butt and did really well. But that kind of gave me that itch to want to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah. Good for you.
So,
so then you're based here in Palm Harbor, but you also live in Ohio?
Got married, and my wife and I were both from Ohio, so we moved back home. Bought a little lock shop, grew it to a big security company, and then COVID happened, and we were coming down to Florida an awful lot, and I wanted to give myself a reason to come back down here more often, so we ended up buying Music and Cinema in May of 22, and every week I take turns going back and forth to either Ohio or Florida, and I'm growing both businesses. So.
Wow, so you own the business up there too?
I do.
The same lock one?
So it's a security business. So basically I'm taking the security specialization that I have up there and bringing it down here, and I'm taking the home automation specialty down here and bringing it up there and getting the two to work together.
Holy moly. So I have time to do anything.
Good awesome wife. I got an awesome wife, and I have an awesome staff. So
yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. So then if someone calls up to Palm Harbor and says, I want you to go do this and that, are they talking to you, or are they who are they talking to?
It depends on they have the ability to get me, but I have a staff down here. Jason's my manager down here. He's our system designer, and he'll meet with the customer, and they'll work with them from start to finish. We have an outside sales, we have installation team, we have an admin team. So
wow, so it's a pretty big company.
It's a nice.
Are you staying primarily in Tampa Bay area, or are you guys trying to expand it out all through Florida?
No, not there yet. We want to slow, sustained growth. I'm not looking to. I don't want to spread myself too thin.
Yeah. Now, where exactly are you in Palm Harbor? Where's your location?
We are at 31473 US Highway 19 North.
Where's that by? Is that by the Alderman or?
It's just south of Tampa.
Tampa Road.
Yep.
Yeah, I know you're at. That's a good location.
Yeah. Until the construction started.
Yeah. Well, 19's been under construction for like the last 10 years. It feels like. You know what I mean? You know. So then in Ohio, then the same thing. You have people up there that just run that, and then it's kind of.
Yeah, it's a little bit bigger operation up there, and we travel a little bit more. Our biggest customer up there is Marathon Petroleum, so we have camera systems all over the United States with them. And
oh wow. So you do a lot of security with big complexes across the country.
Right. So this is a little bit different down here. It's a unique challenge, but I love it. And we live up near Lake Erie, which has all of the same type of demographics that, you have along the water here, we have up there. So I wanted to be able to it drove me nuts when we go and do alarming cameras for somebody and somebody else is coming in doing their home theater.
Yeah, exactly. So now you can just capture both of it.
Correct.
And then at the same time you can go fish and catch walleye.
That's right.
That's so funny. So how can people reach you guys? Where
so musicandcinema.com is our website. Our phone number is 727-408-5111. And my email is roger@musicandcinema.com.
Awesome. All right, we're going to take a quick break, but I have a few more questions for you if you don't mind.
Sounds great.
Awesome. All right, Mark Haye here, and with Alex Black Belt Lima.
You already know. Check us out, www.consumerqb.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show.
And Mark Haye here, filling again in for Brandon Rhyme, who's on vacation, with Alex Black Belt Lima, who still has not fought, and I would like to see him fight. And so I keep giving him a hard time whenever I see him. Please fight so we can go watch this.
It's been a while since I got to play Punch Face, man. Like I said, I'm serious, and it's one of my favorite games of all time. I love playing Punch Face and Strangle Your Buddy. So
yeah, there you go.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
Well, back here with Roger, owner of Music and Cinema, and we were just chatting. And do you have some situation, or you have an opportunity through a racetrack, hotel? Kind of tell us what's going on.
Yeah, thought it was kind of fitting that with it being the Indianapolis 500 this weekend, that there's a private racetrack east of Tampa that they built a bunch of garage condos on, and these, I was going to say guys, but I'm sure that there's ladies involved as well, but they have a bunch of race cars and stuff, or they bring their, and basically they have these garages that they're building out into these condos, and we're doing work out there to where they build these mezzanines. So it's a 2-story frame, but then they come in, build the mezzanine out, and then they're building like, a bar and big TV screens and stuff like that to keep their family entertained while they're out on the racetrack driving around. And
no, I've seen
cool.
it. It's the Enclave, I think.
Yeah, the Enclave.
Yeah, and then you're in charge of doing all that.
Not all of it.
But
we just have
hire.
customers there. We have customers there.
So you go in there and do all the lighting, security, electrical, everything. Because I've seen some of those build-outs, and those build-outs are phenomenal.
Yeah, no, we have a handful of customers in there that we've taken care of. Not all of them.
Yeah. Now, have you seen in Ybor, the P1? Have you seen that at all?
No.
P1 is the same type concept as what we're just talking about. There's no racetrack. But all they're doing is renting out these condos to people that have cars. And so it's the same concept, except there's no racetrack.
Huh.
But it's beautiful. I mean, the same thing, 2-story. You can buy big, large. You can develop them any way you want. And I'm just saying, if you're already over there, you should just walk on down to P1 and do the same thing, because it's the same type, people. Know, I know there's a gentleman that has 30 some cars, so he has some at P1, some in the racetrack just to store them, and he redoes all of them and makes them in those nice condos. But that's a really good opportunity for you if you're already in there. Walk on down, and I know the owners; they're clients of mine, so we'll get together and I will hook you up because that P1 is nice. It's just outside of Ybor. And they bought this big land and they just developed it. They just built it. I think they just opened it like in the last year.
Okay.
But it's a really good opportunity if you're already in that arena.
That's exactly what we're doing.
Because that's big money too. I mean, people spend big money on their cars.
One of the garage condos we're doing, they actually have a lift where they pull their car in and then they pull it up so they can have drinks and
I know. Look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got to have lifts because you got multiple cars in there. So you got to put like 4 or 5 in one. Those poor people.
Right.
But then the top is cool because they put bedrooms and they put pool tables and bars But the same thing at P1 is the same thing except minus a racetrack.
Okay.
And then what's going on at the hotels?
So we have another customer. We did outdoor lighting and outdoor sound for him, and he owns a number of hotels. And just through conversation, we're like, well, who does the sound and things of that nature out there? And went to 3 different hotels, and none of their staff was able to control any of the sound that went through the location. And when we took a look at it, we didn't go and gut everything, all the expensive components, but we were able to take and make it so that everything was universal from each location, to where when they go to control it, the owner can now go and train his staff on how to do it, and there's one system, it's uniform throughout.
Now, do you guys train them how to do it? Because I'm horrible at technology, so if you came and said, I'm going to wire this, I'm going to do that, and here's a controller, I'd be like, I don't even know how to do this. Like, how I mean... You guys train them, right?
Whatever way. So it all just comes down to the customer's, comfortability with technology. So we have some customers where we'll go and train their staff for them, because a lot of wealthy people are kind of hands off, right? You get to a certain spot in life and you have people, so we'll go to those people and train them, or some customers just absolutely love the technology and run with it from there. So it's all.
How do you go out and get the business? Like, how do you go and get like a hotel? How do you go get that stuff?
Well,
just word of mouth.
Majority is word of mouth. We're starting to do social media. We're starting to deploy some outside sales help as well, so we can just get a little bit more consistent growth. We have home builders that we're just, always been in business with that continue to use us.
So it sounds like you have a pretty good center of influence.
We do.
Do you hook up with Brandon? Brandon sells a lot of homes.
Well,
there you go. Start hooking up with him.
For about 6 months now. So.
Tell him, Brandon, man, I need to hook me up with all these people you bring in. I got all these new homes, But Brandon does a good job, so there's a lot of homes there too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Palm Harbor is an excellent spot too, because they have money in that city.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a great city to be in.
And it's growing like crazy.
Oh man, well the school system's really good. You know what I mean? So if you want to take your kids to a good school, it's a really good school system. And plus, little downtown Palm Harbor's cool, little businesses, and Dunedin's over there. I think it's cute. I live in St. Pete, so I never really get up there, but it is a cool little town.
And I like St. Pete, but I don't mind it up there. I like the little quaint little bars and restaurants there in Palm Harbor.
Very cute.
And Dunedin as well. And when I come down here, I take turns on where I stay, but I like staying at the, up in Dunedin right there on the water and stuff, so I can just walk
little downtown Dunedin is cute. You know what I mean? Now, do you have somebody in your team that does marketing for you?
Yeah, I mean, we have a social media presence and stuff.
Do you want to hire somebody? I have somebody that you could hire. They could do a heck of a job marketing your company.
I'd love to talk to them.
But it's the hardest part is just getting it out there. I mean, How competitive is your industry? I'm ignorant to it.
No, it's competitive.
Yeah.
There's some big players. We're a little bit smaller, more hands-on, or we think outside the box. Sometimes when you get a little bigger, you know, you have to stick to certain things that you do so you can keep it uniform throughout the business, because when it comes to training people and things of that nature.
Yeah.
So I like to think that's kind of our niche, is that, you know, when you, you know, meet with a customer, it's what fits their needs the best, opposed to what fits our, you know, what makes it easiest for us to install.
Do you guys offer financing and everything for it too, or no? No. So we got to write a check.
You got to write a check.
All right. Do you got to write a check before and after, or right away?
So typically we'll do, you know, parts and material up front, and then I make my money at the end when everything's complete and the customer's happy.
Okay, so I walk in, I say, I'm building this house, and I want you to do electric. I want you to do the sound system, security. You know, how am I looking? How long does it take to do all that?
As long as it takes the builder to build the house. So,
how long does it take you to put it all together?
We work in conjunction with the builder to make sure that. So you come in, we sit down with you, and we go over all the plans. You tell us your wants and desires, and we're going to put something together within a week. You're going to have what that budget's going to look like. Then you say, you know, God bless you, run with it, or hey, I want to take that out or add this or do those sort of things. And then once we get to that point, then we wait till the builder's ready for. Once the high voltage is done, we'll go in and do the low voltage, and then we're like the cherry on top. We're the guys that come in after the painters and everything else and commission the project, and we're kind of like that last thing that the homeowner gets as they're getting the keys to the house.
So you get to do all the lighting, everything, and the security. So you're like one size fits all done.
Yes, sir.
Wow, that's a great model. I can see why you guys like it and why you wanted it. You're kind of capturing the whole thing.
Well, we want to be the easy button for the customer. You know what I mean? When it comes to technology in the house, and the other thing we do is make sure that like Wi-Fi throughout the house is strong, because in Florida, all the concrete walls and everything else. So, and that's where it comes to the design aspect of what we do, especially when you're building the house, is making sure that you get those hard runs done throughout the house, so that way you can put those hot spots at strategic locations throughout the house.
That's excellent. That's excellent. Well, you got about another minute or so left. Anything you want to add? Anything we missed or didn't touch on? Or
so you're a linebacker for Toledo?
Outside linebacker. We on a 4-4.
Who was the quarterback at Marshall?
Oh, that was Chad Pennington and Randy Moss, and they beat us in 1998. Thank you for bringing that up.
Well, you
not sore about it at all.
Yeah. It was a MAC championship game in the snow, and they threw it up, and he lost us.
Was it in 2000?
The laces were in.
Yeah,
they were in.
2001 or something like that. Didn't we? Chester Taylor? Or?
Chester Taylor was very good. He was.
Were
very
you
good.
on that team?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So he was our running back, but no. So that was a very good. We had good years, and then. Gary Pinkel was our head coach, and he went off to Missouri and did an excellent job in Missouri. And then he went to the SEC, went to the championship. He did a phenomenal job, too. But it was fun. You know, it was a lot of fun. But
I remember going to a game on a Thursday night or a Tuesday night or something like that against Syracuse, and we beat them like 50-6 or something.
Well, I'll tell you, one of the most interesting individuals I saw play besides Randy Moss was Dante Culpepper. I don't know if you remember that quarterback from Central Florida.
Yep.
When he came up and, you know, we were doing warm-ups and stuff, I look over and I go, that's the quarterback? You know, the guy was like 6'6", 6'7", like 280, and he could run. I'm like, that kid's a freak.
Not fair.
It's not fair. But, you know, I was happy that he was from Central Florida, because you hardly ever see a quarterback in that stature go to a school like that. You know what I mean? Usually they get taken by Alabama. Or
was that when Worthlesberger played for Miami?
Yeah, he was Miami, Ohio. Yeah, so there was a lot of talent come on the back. So, anyway, so how did they reach you?
Again, 727-408-5111, or at musicandcinema.com. Roger at musicandcinema.com. It's the email.
Awesome. Well, thank you very, very much for coming in. I appreciate it.
All right, Mark. Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you, too. Alex, thank you, sir, for having me on. I hope that Brandon's having a good time in his vacation.
I'm sure he's miserable on some island.
I'm sure he's really thinking about us and see how it went today.
Some weird fruity drink in his hand. I mean, who wants to live like that? It's not. Is that living? I don't know.
I don't know.
How much do you got to save to get a? Let's talk finances for a second, man. How much do you got to save to be able to have a vacation nowadays?
If you own a business, you can write the whole thing off.
It's a work trip.
Yeah, it's a work trip. Especially if you hire your wife in your business is a work trip, and you take a lot of tax incentives.
My wife gets a W-2.
There you go. Yeah, but you could put her on payroll.
Oh, she's on payroll.
There you go. Then everything you do is a write-off.
Yep.
So.
And it's all legal, folks, right here on the Consumer Quarterback
we're not trying to do anything illegal.
No.
That's for sure.
Legit. Everything we do is we've Mark Haye is the skeleton key of how to fight the system, fight the power.
Use a tax code to your advantage.
And your boy Cody too. We got to give Cody a shout out.
Yeah,
man.
Cody Tucker does all the accounting CPAs for my clients, so he does a great job too. So, but I appreciate letting me be on the show. It was an honor to host, and wish you guys all well.
Yeah, it was fun, guys. Thank you again for being with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Always good to be here. We had an amazing lineup. We had Martin Gramatica, former Super Bowl champion, Buccaneer, Lifeguard Imaging. Definitely check it out. That special he has going for all our guests. We had Roger Kuns, Music and Cinema Palm Harbor. He's going to hook you up. And then always be with us here at the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we always ask you, please go out there and commit a random act of kindness. There's just too much silliness going on in the world. Let's cut the crap already. Be better to each other. We'll see you next time. ConsumerQB.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.